Time to have our live free picks for today's action. So make sure you like, subscribe, and set notifications. Be live with us. Get the plays in real time. And of course, I get the best numbers if you would. And also join the conversation in our chat room. We have a really good chat going on here with our show and our community here at Tony's Picks on the YouTube channel. So we welcome you there. Before we get underway, just a couple of things that you know about our promo code. You can save 20% off all pre and pick packages. When you use that promo code TonyT at checkout, you can access our page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, get signed up. Always love to hear from you guys. You can post your picks in the comments below. And of course, we are Tony'sPicks.com. We are a multi-capper site. We showcase top cappers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers, get signed up to our long-term passes. Ramon has been on absolute fire, over 6,200 units of profit for the year. He's been an absolute monster right now. You can see the last 30 days performance here, last 7 days, he's been on fire here as well. He even made the leaderboard yesterday. See him across the board here. Hollywood Sam, fantastic work here. Mindy as well. Ralph Raymond, one of our newest cappers, and Nick as well, hitting the top of the leaderboards. Fantastic work, guys. You'll find our latest premium picks here center of the page, as well as our best bets, which we post up as well. So each capper can release a best bet from each sport. $15 premium pick is promotional. Each capper can designate a play from their card as a $15 premium pick. Enters their service to new and existing customers. Multi-packs offer great value as well. So check them out here on our site. And of course, as you scroll down, you'll find our pick ticker. If you prefer, you may purchase our picks a la carte from our pick ticker with team versus team information. All right, let's get underway here with game day picks, as we'll just welcome in Ramon Scott. It's just Ramon and I for today's show. We'll bring him in, Ramon, right now. Ramon, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. Yeah, just watch a bunch of tennis today. Enjoyed the day so far. Looking forward to this card and really stoked about what's going on. So it's going to be a good week to get these NBA playoffs started tonight. I know everyone's real interested. Funny how we, make fun of what's going on, but once the playoffs roll around, we love pro basketball again, I guess.
Oh, yeah, what a 160-degree turn here from where we're watching meaningless play and resting to now into reports everybody playing. It's funny what the playoffs do, but that's how it is. And, of course, we had probably about we didn't have as much garbage time in the league. As we said before, we've been in this racket a long time. I think this play-in game eliminated some of that garbage time at the end of the season.
No, an interesting concept too, and we've already talked a little bit, you and I, about the CBA. Or I know you were pessimistic, and maybe they just ended up the owners just for whatever reason just went with the status quo, and it'll work out for them in the long run. But the one thing we will get out of it is that looks like that in-season tournament that I talked about when I first came on your channel, or we got all this concept together. I said, watch out, an in-season tournament is coming, and we could see that as early as next year now. That was just something put into the CBA, so that'll mix things up too, maybe give them a little bit more money to play for, whatever. We'll see. It might not happen next year, but it's coming, it looks like.
There's a little bit more details in there. Of course, the 60 games, and there's some other details in there about spending here from some of these owners. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out with luxury tax and whatnot. But anyway, we'll get to the NHL tonight as we're winding down the NHL season. Just a couple games, 1 to 2 games remaining on some of these schedules now. Red Wings have faced the Hurricanes. Hurricanes big favorites at home, total of 6.
Yeah, no one packs it in the NHL, do they? Or maybe they do. Look at what happened to this Red Wings team last night. I mean, they're just playing out the string, of course. They've had a successful season. If you want to talk about improving year upon year, I think the Red Wings have successfully done that. But they're both teams here, Tony, on a back-to-back with travel. So Detroit got crushed last night by Ottawa 6-1. So just got to figure it's going to be a tough grind now to go in against a Carolina team that, quite frankly, has not looked itself. Shevchenko going down, almost 3 weeks ago now. So they have not been the same team, and it is a big concern, I think, for Carolina heading into the postseason. That's a real setback, and they've been just a 500 team pretty much since his departure. So still Hurricanes, such a consistent team. When they're out there 5-on-5, they're really, I don't know, they might not be much better in the league right now. So they still can get it done here, I would think, against a Detroit team that did struggle last night. I mean, they got crushed pretty good on the road. I'm not so sure this is going to be a great spot. Antti Ranta's back for Carolina. I haven't really even seen the confirmed goalie in this one, but Carolina's goaltending has been solid anyways with Anderson as well. So if Rant is ready, or I'll try to fire up the computer here and see, but. You would think either guy could handle it tonight. Like I said, both teams on the back-to-back with travel. Tony, you guys got to favor the home team in this one, and I see another maybe a typical Carolina game, if you will, as far as a low score is concerned. Red Wings just scored 1 goal last night in that Ottawa game. So, and you see already, I mean, this total itself, it was one of the lowest on the board tonight. I believe might be even juiced under to the 6. So, yeah, 6 flat. That's interesting. So I think the Red Wings tonight, Tony, minus the Hurricanes minus the 1.5 tonight. Tony in a pretty good spot. I mean, Red Wings going to finish up maybe a point per game by the time this is all said and done. And you see nearly a $3 favorite there. So why not lay this 1.5 with the Hurricanes tonight against the Red Wings? Hurricanes 50-win team, good season, looking good. Certainly heading in to the postseason. And I don't know. Not saying they get an easy one here tonight, but they did win the game back in December, 1-0. So maybe Red Wings did beat them this year, 3-2. In fact, that was just a couple of weeks ago. So maybe that's in the back of their minds as well.
All right, well, how does the playoffs shape up here for Carolina out there in the East? And are they? I haven't saw a lot of their games. Are they still that physical, hard-hitting team, bone-crunching team that we see with those hard checks?
Carolina, they're so consistent. Their best play, Tony, definitely comes 5-on-5. Not a special power play situation, but they're on top right now in the Metro. 109 points, 1 point ahead of New Jersey, and 1 point ahead of the Rangers. So, could be a division title for them, really, heading into the postseason. I mean, I would definitely have to categorize Carolina, I would think, as a betting sleeper, I would think, if you will. If the season ended today, they'd be matched up against a tough Florida team who's definitely playing some of their best hockey moving on. So that's Florida kind of in position for the first wild card right now, and the other side of the division would have New Jersey and the Rangers, which I think would catch everybody's attention as well. So that's how that division is shaping up. Carolina trying to secure that number 1 spot and play Florida.
Yeah, they got that is indeed. And of course, they will finish at Florida on the 13th of the month here in a couple of days. So there you go. Here, Carolina dropping 3 straight, looking to get off the schneid here, but they're at home here in this one. Lay the puck line, lay the puck 1.5, lay the -115 against the Red Wings. This one will have a start time here of 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can check it out on there. Of course, guys, check out TonySpicks.com. Get Ramon's premium plays. Of course, Ramon has been on absolute fire. I'll put his record up there again at 6,230 units of profit over at TonySpicks.com. When you pay a visit to Ramon's handicapper page, you get on board with some of his long-term passes. So go ahead and get signed up. Remember the promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save 20% off. And of course, lots of action up there from Ramon. Tonight's action up there from Tuesday night hockey, as well as MLB, a best bet right now on the board. So let's continue on here on game day picks here. Joined here by Ramon Scott. A little different than normal because no morning steam on Tuesday, and I told Ramon I'd accommodate him and do a complete baseball rundown with Ramon. So we'll go ahead and get underway here with our baseball rundown. All 15 games here from Ramon Scott here, joined here with Ramon, and we're going to go ahead and get started here with our 15-game rundown. Ramon Scott. All right, Ramon, here we go. Today, 6 Eastern time, Guardians and Yankees. Hey, we got the Guardians in there using the mascots. Yankees big favorites in this one, total 8.5.
Yeah, good job, Tony. Good job. Yeah, I tried to get on those guys a little bit, and they were on my case a little bit. So, yeah, thanks a lot for that. And, yeah, sure, like I'm trying to make more work for myself. No, let's give out more free picks. Any way to convince the viewers, Tony, that my record is not a fluke. I don't know how else to say it. All right. Yeah, here with the Yankees and the Guardians. Well, what can you say, Tony, about the way Garrett Cole is uh, going right now? I mean, this is just insane with his start currently. Uh, just really, really strong. Credit to Gaddis so far, Tony. I mean, he's done certainly pretty well in those two. They won both of his starts, so I'm going to give him some credit there, certainly. Coming into this one, but for me, Cole, I'm going to have to even lay this price. I don't want to start the show with too big a favorite, but Cole so far 0.73 ERA, won both of his starts so far. New York definitely, pretty good start, 6-4. Guardians have been certainly a nice. I don't want to call them a surprise, but they're 7-4, looking good. Gaddis has been good, 3.72 so far. But man, Cole, it just seems like there's just no way that his current form is going to slip up here even a little bit on the road. Maybe he's no value in the price, but I don't know if I think the handicap, if you will, of Cole giving you the start certainly is going to put the Yankees at a big advantage to start the game. I'll take the Yankees.
All right, Ramon here on the Yankees here with a game one here of our rundown here. Let's continue on here with rundown here, joined by Ramon Scott. Next up, we got Astros and Pirates tonight here. Javier on the mound here for Houston to face Mitch Keller. Had a pretty good start. Tough injury here for the Pirates. A big guy, Cruz going down. That's a bad one there for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, what'd you think, Tony? I'll let you say in a minute, but certainly O'Neal Cruz, very raw talent with extremely high expectations, a player of the future for the Bucks. But you know what? Buy yourself a slip and slide, right? Sometimes when guys are, coming up through the ranks and they're, great fielders, great hitters, and they get to the major leagues, don't forget, sliding is such an important part of the game. That looked like a guy to me who had not participated in enough home plate professional major league type of slides before. He went in like a caps or a t-ball guy. The way he crashed in there,
Remember that. Remember this back in the day. Pedro Guerrero had a similar injury, right? When he was an up and comer from the Dodgers, and some of these guys, you ask him to steal, you better make sure they know how to slide.
Yeah, I mean, just do it. I mean, I wasn't kidding about the slip and slide or in sand, the pop-up slides. I know there's base coaching coaches. I know they work on it. Or do they? Right? Home plate is a completely different thing now, right? You almost got to learn that, I want to say Trey Turner, but, I mean, you see the smoothness, right? Picking the angles. Oh, look, that's one rule that I always thought was kind of a bummer. I think Posey was in a bad position and created that. Again, a catcher it was always upon them to create their own lane for not getting hurt. And if you wanted to take the hit, that's when you stood in. And you had to have the ball before you take the hit, or that's where the interference was. So to me, that's what's kind of, ruined it a little bit. There's no lane. There's no first base. Okay, let me get off that soapbox a little bit. Maybe Houston has found a team Pittsburgh, great start. Certainly everybody's excited and happy for the Bucks, but maybe now Houston has found, even though we've said, they've had some success against Houston, talking about the Pirates, maybe Houston now is find someone they can get a couple of wins with, especially like a guy like Javier. Pretty decent start so far, 3.27 in his first two starts. Yeah, Astros just 5-6, staring up at the Astros. And Keller, you're right, he's been good, 3.86 ERA so far, and Pittsburgh has won both of those games in 5 of the last 7. But just maybe, Houston, man, big price. Maybe too big a price considering the way the Bucks have been playing, but I'm just going to think that maybe the Astros have found some comfortability and finding a team that maybe they can show that they have the better talent over here. And I'll probably look to take Javier and the Astros, and I'll even lay the puck line here in this one.
All right, Rowan said, look at the run line here. Lay the run and a half plus 100 here against the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, let's continue on here with the Ramon's rundown here. Look at the Athletics and Orioles. Athletics is really a sorry team this year to start the season. Grayson Rodriguez, the youngster on the hill for Baltimore, faced Kyle Muller.
Right, we're just doing the athletics uh, a solid when we're saying that maybe that there's some hope for him or whatever, because it doesn't seem like right now. And man, I don't want to jump out with more favoritism here possibly, but maybe I can look at the total here in this one, Tony, with Oakland and Baltimore. Certainly, you look at these, Baltimore and their ability to put up a bunch of runs right now. I thought Rodriguez looked okay. 83 pitches in his first start. He gave up a couple of runs in 5 innings. The Orioles did lose that game, and now they've lost 3 out of their last 5. Muller, he's been he is the bright spot, Tony. 2.88 ERA in 2 starts so far, and the A's did win one of those games, but now since this little streak going now 8 of their last 9, they've been outscored on the road, Tony, 36-6 so far in 4 road games. So I think Baltimore to crush here, but I'll look to go over in this one. Take over the runs. Baltimore puts up a big number here, keeps it going. I think Baltimore might be even disappointed with their 5-5 start so far. So we'll see more from Rodriguez certainly here, but we'll go ahead and take the over here with the Athletics and Orioles.
All right, well, it says go ahead and go over Athletics and Orioles over the total of 8. There is some juice there, but guys, this is a live line. One of the sharpest books, the sharpest book in the world is where we're getting these lines from. And of course, do your shopping, get the best number. Let's continue on here. Rundown, MLB rundown on Tuesday with Ramon. We know no morning steam, but we're accommodating Ramon. Allow him to get his rundown. Give him his screen time for the entire card. So we'll continue on here with the next game up here, Marlins and the Phillies. The Phillies offense really shined yesterday, 6:40 Eastern time. Of course, tonight we've got Jesus Luzardo on the hill, the former Athletic, who gave up on him and cut him really early on in his career, which I could not understand, facing Aaron Nola. Phillies minus 137, total of 8.
Yeah, and send a guy to Miami. They never have the offense enough. But man, Luzardo, 0.7 ERA so far in 2 starts, and the Marlins have just 4 wins, and 2 of them have been with Luzardo. So they've lost 3 of their last 4. However, Nola, what's wrong so far? A 7.45 ERA thus far. I think maybe against the Marlins lineup, got to look for him to turn. Certainly, Phillies have won 3 of their last 4, 3-1 at home. So here's the thing: Nola has pretty good success against Miami. 10 starts, 2.83 ERA, just a 2-4 record. But at home, I would think that Nola can have a better start here, and I do think Luzardo is all that. Probably just a good, solid pitcher. Not sure why the A's were not willing to keep him, but in Miami you can always find a little success. It seems like these guys end up doing pretty well. They just don't have a complete team and lose a lot of low-scoring games. So let's take the under here with this one. Figure Nola to come back, at least have a decent start since he's looked poor so far. I don't think anybody's counting out Nola to turn it around a little bit, and still say Luzardo is a good pitcher. Maybe some regression here, but I think his first 2 starts indication so far that he was ready and set to go here at the start of the season. Let's go under.
All right, under 8 here, Marlins and Phillies. This one tonight, 6:40 Eastern time. Let's continue on our rundown here with Ramon Scott joining me here, top of the leaderboards at TonySports.com. So go ahead and get signed up. Use promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save 20% off. All right, here we go. The story of the season so far has been these Rays, undefeated, covering the run line in all but one game. That game was last night against division rival here. It'll be Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. The Red Sox have really struggled in the division the past couple seasons. Garrett Whitlock on the hill for the Red Sox to face Shane McClanahan.
Yeah, that's what I said, Tony, about the new format, right? So you're going to cut off basically 24 games out of each division now. So that I think is a good change for another good change for Major League Baseball. I'll give them credit on that one. I think playing every team is more important to determine the champion of a season. Yeah, division play, that's pretty cool. You don't know how come, a team like Tampa Bay is stuck in this division considering the logistics, but that's just the way the format has evolved, so that just is what it is. But with only those 13 games now against division opponents, hey, Tampa Bay still found a way to get the victory yesterday, Tony, against these guys. Great job, man. And just an incredible start. We're going to see Whitlock making his first start of the season. He was good last year, no doubt. 3.45 ERA in 31 games at 9 starts. So we'll see. He did have a start against Tampa Bay, appeared in 3 games with a 3 ERA and a 1-1 record. Red Sox that did end a winning streak last night. They were had won 3 straight, but lost that one. McClanahan, pretty good. You know, we always joked it was kind of an opener, but that was when he was first getting strength, if you will, because he's turned into a pretty good starter now. 1.5 ERA in 2 starts, and Tampa Bay, 9 of the wins, Tony, have come by 4 runs or more. Before that, 1-0 victory last night, and they've also gone under in just 2 of the 10 games. So I've got to think the bats kind of continue here, and maybe we'll see a different game tonight with these teams. Maybe they can hit Whitlock a little bit. And let's see here, at the 7.5, if I'm not mistaken, still,
Yep.
Tony.
Yep.
Yeah,
Barely hanging at 7.5. The under at minus
yeah,
118
man.
juice.
I'm still gonna give out the over and say that the runs will come tonight. It's not gonna be a slugfest, certainly, no doubt. But I'm gonna try the over here in this one and see if the bats don't rule the roost tonight after last night's game. Certainly, I'm not sure about what they're going to do about Whitlock. Does not look like a guy who's going to last very many. Yes, I mean that he is an expected starter, I would think, for Boston moving forward. But I would think is in a situation where he needs to continue to build up strength off of his injury from last season.
All right, Ramon here. Looks over this one, over 7.5, Red Sox and Rays. All right, let's continue on. Our rundown, MLB rundown, all 15 games here from Ramon Scott. We do that on Tuesdays. Morning steam back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Next up here, Tigers and the Blue Jays. Finally home for the Blue Jays after 10 road games. Hey, I know people were very critical about this Blue Jays, but you can't knock winning 6 of 10 on the road. That's pretty good. I know a lot of people are hot on this team, but hell, you know what? They play well at home. Manoah back on the hill to face Manning, and the Tigers 2-7 so far to start the season.
They do. That being home in north of the border, if you will, doesn't bring you a little bit of an inherent advantage as well. I will say I think that Toronto's going to end themselves finding, or we're going to find them, the handicappers are going to find them quite overvalued, maybe like they are here. But this one, I don't know, home opener, I'm willing to come in, I think, on the run line with Toronto. Manning gives Detroit, one of their best options, certainly, but they're just 2-7 to start the season. This is a disappointment, even though we definitely are putting Detroit, under the subpar list, I would think, moving into the season. I mean, 2-7 is a disappointment for everybody, but I think Detroit expected more coming in to the season. Certainly, the action actually, steam has come in on Detroit in this one, probably based on Manning. Tigers won his first start as a huge underdog. He went 5 2/3, 89 pitches in that one. But Detroit's lost 4 straight now. They're 2-4 to start the season on the road. Home opener for Toronto. Everyone makes fun of Manoah. I don't know, so, Tony, you kind of shifted that maybe it'll help his durability. Did I hear that right? I'm not sure if you kind of flipped on him.
No,
I just think
I'm still the same. Usually those big burly guys, they don't really have a long career in Major League Baseball because of the lower leg injuries and what ankle injuries, lower leg injuries that can lead to shoulder injuries. It's usually, I like to see those lean guys up on the mound because it takes a tear on you, wear and tear. Now that you don't have as much recovery time, that's maybe an issue I think here with Ramon. We'll see how he rolls.
No, maybe there was some actually late season fatigue to a certain extent, I thought, too. Last season, Toronto's won 5 of the last 6. And to me, I just think that the home opener here, big man. Hey, he's got a 4.63 ERA in 2 starts career against Detroit, and Manning actually had a pretty good start against Toronto, allowing going 6 innings in his first appearance against them last year. I think the only appearance there. Man, I should have checked up the BVP on this one, but I'm still gonna take Toronto home opener run line to do it here. Yeah, a couple guys have hit Manoa a little bit. Oh no, just 2 guys have got a couple of hits. Not much BVP on that one. Go
All right.
ahead, Tom.
Ramon says Blue Jays run line laid the run and a half, minus 133 against the Tigers. Let's continue on here on the rundown. Next up, the Padres and the Mets. This is your national television game over on TBS tonight. Bob Costas will be on the hill, loving this new pitch clock. It reminds him of the '80s again when guys got up there and hit the bat. But Ramon, Ryan Weathers, really, you got to keep him in the rotation. I know Musgrove's hurt, but is this what you're going to put up there, Ryan Weathers? We have seen him get pounded in his Major League Baseball career. But anyway, David Peterson on the mound here, taking on the Mets.
Yeah, Tony, the Padres started the season with a 6-man rotation just because they were not granted a day off through the first couple weeks of the season. So they're actually going through it a second time now. Musgrove moving closer to his return. And of course, Darvish kind of came in on the back end. So, yeah, still going to go with Weathers here. Just 2 runs in 5 innings in his first start. The Padres won that game. I trust Weathers a little bit just because he's of a major leaguer and has been around the game. And I think that he could just be, one of those left-handed guys. I definitely see him as middle innings moving forward. I don't know. I would think that's the way Melvin sees it as well. Padres back, regained form a little bit, won 6 of their last 9, 3-2 on the road. I said they'd go on the road and have better success. Kind of like the way I feel a little bit about the Blue Jays. Maybe the pressure kind of gets to you a little bit at home. Peterson's gotten rocked so far, 5.5 ERA in 2 starts, and the Mets lost both of those games. So I'll heed your hint there, Tony. Mets are 7-4 to the over so far. Let's go over tonight, the Padres and the Mets. Padres also 7-4 to the over. So both teams 7-4 to the over. Let's go over.
Road says go for root for scoring here. Over 9 here between Padres and Mets. Let's continue on the rundown. Joined by Ramon Scott. Reds and Braves tonight heading up. It looks like Luis Cessa once spent time in the Yankee organization facing Kyle Wright making his season debut.
Yeah, right. Was 21-5 last season, Tony. So we'll see. He certainly has to work up his strength as well. But I would think here the Braves they start to clicking a little bit. They're 7-4 to start the season, and the Reds are just 1-3 on the road so far, and have now lost 4 of 5. Steam's come in here a little bit on the Reds, maybe just taking advantage. Maybe they're just playing that big number. Maybe the Reds can show some hope, but I'm going to end up taking another run line here, believe it or not, with the Braves and Wright. We'll see. I don't know how deep. He threw 6 shutout innings against Cincy last season, so I would think you got to hold on that lineup. Meanwhile, Cessa has given up 6 runs in 9 1/3 innings, all relief stints against Atlanta. So I'm actually going to look for a run line win here for Atlanta. They've been a road team too so far, Tony. A little bit of pressure at 2-3 at home, 5-1 on the road, but gone over in 4 of their last 5. I'm gonna think they could get the runs here tonight and get this run line.
All right, Ramon says go run line with the Braves. Lay the run and a half, minus 103 here against the Cincinnati Reds. Let's continue on here on the rundown. Next up, Mariners and the Cubs. Cubs 5-4 in the year. Mariners struggling at the plate tonight. Hayden Wesneski on the mound here for the Cubs. Chris Flexen moved up from the bullpen. The injury to Robbie Ray inserts Flexen here in a spot start.
Yeah, so let's think that maybe we can get some runs out of this one. You talk about the offensive struggles a little bit, but Seattle still has gone under in just 3 of 10 games so far, and the Cubs, meanwhile, have gone over in 5 of their last 7. For me, Flexen Gave up 2 runs in 5 innings in his first start, 91 pitches. Mariners winning that game, but Seattle, they chalked themselves up as a disappointment so far with that 4-7 record to start the season. 2-2 on the road though so far, and so Wisniewski. First start, he went 4 2/3 innings, allowed 3 runs. Cubs in a little bit of a streak here. They won that first game with Wisniewski, and so far, looks like the steam. My notes show here that steam's come in on the Cubs. Let's see, minus $1.15 now. Okay, I see that. Just a subtle move, certainly, but I do see a move there. So I'm going to end up taking the over in this one, Tony. Like I said, Seattle has gone under in just 3 of those games so far, in the last 3 of the last 10 actually, and Cubs over in 5 of 7. I think the total right there itself. I mean, one thing we've kind of told people, just look at the total when you're talking about a game in Chicago, and doesn't guarantee that it's going to go over, but it does pretty much indicate the way the game is expected by odds makers. Quite frankly, if the total is 7 or 8, maybe the wind's blowing in a little bit. If it's 10.5, maybe there's a wind blowing out. Yeah, these pitchers are a little bit shaky, but I think I got to roll with that total over.
All right, Ramon says go over the total here with the Mariners and Cubs. Let's continue here on our 15-game rundown Major League Baseball for today's action here on Tuesday. Next up, White Sox and Twins played a close one yesterday afternoon. Lynn on the mound against Pablo Lopez. We see the Twins big favorites here, minus 151, total of 7.5.
Yeah, and why not with these two teams right now? I mean, I've got to like what what I'm seeing from Minnesota certainly so far. Lopez, what can you say about him so far, Tony? He's 1-0 with a 0.73 ERA. The Twins did lose one of those games, but certainly Lopez has looked really, really strong. Lynn has not, no doubt about it. 9 ERA in 2 starts, just 10 innings, and Chicago lost both of those games. So Chicago, a lot of runs being scored, but Lopez has looked pretty good. Steam's come in on the under. Kind of trust the Steam here, especially with the Twins team that have gone over in just 3 of those 10 games so far. So just seems when we're getting into a little bit of the elements, if you will. It is warming up, but I'm going to end up going under, I think, in this game. You do have, White Sox are going over, but it's been mostly because of the pitching. Lynn's got to kind of under control here against this Minnesota lineup. But again, I know they have scored some runs, but Minnesota's trending under. So I'm going to end up going under in this one.
All right, Ramon says under White Sox and Twins. Let's continue here on our rundown. Next up, Royals and the Rangers. Royals continue their struggles, 3-8 on the season. DeGrom here to face Lyles.
Yeah, I didn't tell Mindy about playing the run line on the premiums with Texas last night, but man, just seems like that's the way the Royals are headed. Man, we wanted to hope that they. I like some of these guys in that lineup. Maybe it's this pitching. Lyles is 0-2 with a 5.73 ERA, 3 ERA in 2 starts. The Royals, of course, lost both of those games. They've lost 8 of 11 so far. 2 of those wins have come on the road, but DeGrom in a situation, when will we see a turnaround? Is he just getting used to his new surroundings? Does he have some underlying problems that really is not worthy of his situation right now? A 6.52 ERA in the first 2 starts. Hey, sometimes you just want to win the games, and pitchers do what they need to do to win. He wasn't durable necessarily in the games, but the Rangers did win both of those starts. So maybe DeGrom can have a better start here. I'm going to end up going under in this game. Tony, you see the total there. Look, Royals, I want to say that they're, off that some of those guys, in that lineup, they should be producing more runs, but they have gone under in 6 of the 11 games. I mean, that's just barely going under, but again, their pitching has been suspect. But the total at 8, I've got to go under. Probably I'm just being a market guy here and saying I got to play the number. I think in this one, DeGrom to have a better start against what a lineup that I like, but a lineup that is not doing much. Lyles has struggled against Texas. It does concern me a little bit, but DeGrom had an appearance against KC in the past, 7 innings, 1 run. I'll try under here.
Ron
Texas
says,
should limit them, yeah.
Ron says under here, under 8 here with Royals and Rangers. A little bit of juice there on the under. Of course, we're using a single line here, live line here from the sharpest book in the world. Do your shopping to get the best numbers. Let's continue on the rundown. Ramon's 15-game Major League Baseball rundown here for Tuesday. No morning steam on Tuesday. Ramon does a rundown here for us on game day picks. Back with morning steam again tomorrow at 9 a.m. East time with Mindy. Next up, Cardinals and the Rockies here. Interesting one here. Freeland off to a good start. He's on the mound here, the lefty for Colorado. Miles Michaelis, the righty here for St. Louis. We see the Cardinals here laying big here, minus 160, total of 12 now.
Yeah, you mean Cy Freeland, 2-0 with no ERA so far. They've been pretty solid. Colorado won both games, of course, so pretty good. Seeing that, Colorado really have they've only won 3 of their last 9 now after a little bit of a good start against the Padres. Michaelis certainly has got to fix whatever's going on with him. A 9.64 ERA. Cards lost both of those games out the gate. So, we're in Colorado, Tony. I don't know. The totals, I believe, moved up just a little bit. My market read tells me put a lot of thought into it. I don't think 11.5 to 12. Steam came in on the over. Maybe Freeland can deal here again and hold them down. It is the Cardinals. I mean, you got to figure this offense has got to get going a little bit. They've gone under in 7 of the 10 games, and the game did produce plenty of runs. I won't say plenty, but enough runs last night. Cards got theirs, but the Rockies, I had them as a premium on the run line in that one, and boy, they kind of look sharp here. 2 as a dog today. Sure, St. Louis is capable of breaking out, I guess, at any point, but Colorado with a solid pitcher in there. I'll still look for the Cards to end up tacking enough runs on to get this over the total. But man, the Rockies looks like they're in a good situation here in this game, I would think, unless Michaelis can find something here at this point. Let's not just call Freeland a fluke. He's definitely pitched, I think, better than expectations so far. Just not this season, even last season as well.
81 degrees in Colorado tonight, so we have another warm night there in Colorado as it's looking over the total there here with Cardinals and Rockies. And of course, I think why we see the big line here, if you look at the way Cardinals are hitting left-handers, they're actually pounding left-handers this season. Let's continue on here on the rundown here, joined by Ramon Scott. Next up here, we go to the Nationals and Angels. And again, another big line on these Angels. I've seen 300s in some places, but this is the sharpest book in the world, so you would not expect you may see Nationals money from this book. Angels here laying 297, total is 8.5, and of course we've got Gray going up against Ohtani.
Yeah, I see you, Tony T. On those Nats there on the video, and last night as well. You can't pass up a good price. I know you. Still got to go up against Ohtani right now and Josiah Gray. 4.91 ERA with that 0-2 start. They only provided him with 1 run of run support in those 2 games. The Nats are off to a 4-7 mark. Certainly a disappointment for them, but not a big surprise. Angels just 5-5, should I say? Ohtani, they did lose one of those games, but he does have a 0.75 ERA so far. But the Angels just 1-3 at home. A little bit interesting there. Why are the Angels not looking that decent at home? So kind of interesting there with that total, Tony, at 8.5, and Ohtani, looking certainly the part at this point after the World Baseball Classic, what he's doing right now. Sure, Josiah Gray with some struggles so far, and both teams have trended over significantly. You talk about Washington so far, just 3 of their first 11 games have gone under, and for the Angels, just 2 of their last 9 have gone under. So both teams putting up some runs here, but Ohtani may be able to deal. But what will happen once we get into Angels bullpen? You've talked about it time and time again so far early in the season, and what's been going on with that bullpen. It's been just a disaster. And Ohtani doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't show any penchant for, unless he's dealing something special, like they want to run him out there for, I don't know, 7, 8 innings. Got to keep away from that bullpen as much as possible. I'll go over, Tony. If they want to hang an 8.5 up there, they must be thinking a little bit the way I am, that eventually some runs will get scored in the game in the late innings, or the Angels are able to produce enough runs. But again, yeah, maybe Washington a good price tonight. Jacking up the Angels with Ohtani, I'll go over 8.5.
Ramon says over 8.5 here, Nationals and Angels in this one. Warmer weather again forecasted in Southern California. Let's continue this one on ESPN Plus. This is the Rundown Major League Baseball Rundown here, joined by Ramon Scott, going through each Major League Baseball game with a pick. Of course, morning's game returns tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Next up, we go to Brewers and the D-backs. Burns against Kelly. Brewers here favored $1.20, total 8.5.
Playoff preview. Heck, good job, Arizona. Nice job. Hats off to you. Hope it continues for Arizona. They do have, Merrill Kelly out there, so definitely want to have a good guy when you're going up against Burns. Or do you? Burns right now, got to figure out what's going on with him with a 9.31 ERA. I'd expect to turn around, but there does appear to be something in the mechanics of Burns, and that's been the talk and the whispers, if you will. So can he fix it? He's been strong against Arizona in his career, 2.87 ERA. So maybe he will find form here. Kelly, pretty okay, 3.86 ERA in those first 2 starts of the season. I don't mind Arizona here. I think the way they're going right now, Tony, I'm going to try Arizona. 4-1 at home so far. They're producing some runs a little bit here, and you're going up against a pitcher that maybe also could be between the ears a little bit, just trying to find the confidence, and that can be a thing that you need if you're a pitcher like Burns. So I think Merrill Kelly on the hill at home, I'm going to look to Arizona here in this one. I think Kelly can go out there and probably deal a pretty good game here, I would think, against Milwaukee in this one. A low-scoring game. I like Arizona to win.
All right, Ramon here on Arizona, the plus 111 here with Kelly on the hill. Let's continue here with our rundown. Next up, our last game on our 15-game card. Out west, the Giants and the Dodgers. We got Dustin May off to a great start. Alex Wood, the former Dodger, former Brave, the lefty on the hill for the Giants. Dodgers minus 156, total 8.5.
Yeah, Wood only 3 innings in his first start, 71 pitches, allowed 3 runs. Concerned a little bit there, especially the way the Dodger bats look right now. Really heating up, man. They've gone over in 4 straight. They're now 6-5. I think Dodgers starting to make their move. Maybe it was a look ahead in Arizona because you're playing San Francisco now. Bashed them last night. They'll bash them probably again tonight. I expect runs in this game. I like it to go over here. Want to see May. I'm glad he's back. Again, it looked like overwork as far as his injury situation, or the way it evolved, the way it delayed, the way he needed to be sidelined. Just looked like he got too hot, too fast, Tony, if you will, with the Dodgers. So first 2 starts have been very, very solid. They both came against Arizona. I know they lost one, but he does have a victory so far. So I think Dodgers going to put up some runs tonight. It just feels like to me. Giants have gone over in 6 of their last 9 games, and maybe they can get to May as well a little bit. I think Dodger bats, so just too hot. I'm taking the over here. Steam's come in on the over. You're looking at, what, an 8.5 now? 8.5 in San Francisco. Got another over here, Tony. Kind of riding my theme. It's subtle. It's baseball. Yeah, there's going to be unders, but I'm still on the over bandwagon. I think there's a situation every night, Tony, where you can see just that little bit of talk about, oh, here's something that hasn't happened in 50 years. Here's a team that, yeah, sure, Tony, there are teams that score double-digit runs in baseball, but one or two teams every single night. I don't think that was happening last year or the several years. I think the runs are because of the what we've talked about so far at the start of the season. It's baseball, so a guy can deal at any given moment and keep you down to a shutout or a team shutout or whatever. But it's those little things, those stolen base. The stolen base is back. That might be the most exciting news in baseball right now. The teams are stealing again.
Forecast in San Francisco, 57 degrees. Now, this is a forecasted wind blowing out 23 miles per hour out. Maybe that explains the over the total, Ramon. Of course,
put it back in the stick.
That's right. It's going to be a windy night tonight in San Francisco. All right, Ramon, let's see what's happening in the chat. I think we have a comment or two coming in here, so let's pull it up right now, if I can remember where my YouTube button was. Here we go. No Boyce wants to know about the Angels' first five. That's going to be a heavy price, though.
Yeah, in fact, right. That's what Mindy and I talked about it on the last show, I think, about how ace pitchers will always be, and it's not the case. Usually when you have anything below an ace or maybe a first two starters, sometimes the, first five is more in tune, if you will, than the original price, right? I mean, but the aces always get, bumped up because you expect, the Alcantaras of the world, if you will. So far, Tony, first five, Josiah Gray, he's 0-2 in the first five. The Nationals are 5-5-1 so far this season in the first five. Meanwhile, Ohtani, he's 2-0 in the first five so far, and the Angels are one of the best teams in the league so far in the first five at 8-2. So probably would favor Ohtani there, and I'm sure that that's part of the reasoning. The Angel starters have been pretty decent so far. It's that bullpen that's been bad. So if you think the Angels are going to win, the way Gray has been going, he's 0-2 in the first five, and Ohtani's 2-0. Looks pretty good. I didn't just say the price. I could call it up here, but I probably think that Ohtani deals and the Angels are able at least to get out to the lead there in the first five. Let's see here, Tony. It's minus a half and minus 180. Woo! All right, I'll do it.
There you go. Ramon there with his plays. All right, guys, that was our first. That was our rundown, our 15-game rundown from Ramon. You also got a pick from him from the NHL from Ramon Scott here on Game Day Picks. We do this on Tuesday. No morning steam, but we're going to accommodate Ramon, allow him to do the rundown here from Major League Baseball. They will cover the NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs. The Tuesday games will be covered on the Monday shows like they did last night. The NBA here for Morning Steam was covered Monday shows. So those are up right now on the YouTube channel. And during the playoffs, there are no back-to-back, so they'll be able to cover the Tuesday NBA and NHL playoffs on the Monday show. And then, of course, I'll bring Ramon here, and he'll do the rundown for Major League Baseball for the Monday card. You already got my picks on baseball. You got all of them I do on videos. So you got mine. So we're giving Ramon opportunity here to get his rundown in here on Game Day Picks. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony's Picks. Go ahead. Let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com, where he's been on absolute fire. 6,230 units of profit. That's all documented over at Tony's Picks. We got lots of baseball on the board. No day games, so all 15 games on the board. 2 NBA play-in games as well. Still action on the ice. What do you have going on over at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, Tony, right now I do have a 3-pack on the ice tonight, so I feel very comfortable there. Going with a 3-pack of games there, NHL, my best sport, certainly. You see it right there last year, 3,100 units. This year we're well over, I think, 1,600 units in the NHL. So you see the 3-pack right there. Tonight in the NHL, I went 5-3 last night, Tony. Just one of those grinder nights that we do until we get to a boomer, and we'll maybe do one tonight. See the Major League Baseball discount best bet right there, the $15 Tony special, if you will. I decided to put it on one of the games tonight, so check it out over at Tony'sPicks.com. The $15 best bet. You want the hottest handicapper with the best record and the cheapest price? There it is. A lot of adjectives there with that one, and take a chance with me and see what the hype is all about with that number. Look, it's no fluke. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to be humble about it. I'm so excited. Tony talks about it the way he does, but now it's really a challenge when you're doing that well to keep it going. And I will have more games coming in Major League Baseball. I want to see a few lineups. Went 5-0 last night, and I don't want to mess around. You guys are paying good money for these picks. Let's make sure we get more winners. Keep this number going. Let's change the nickname. Let's shoot for that 7,000. Remember, I'm just dealing in $100 plays. That's all Tony lets me bet. Not really, but that's how we keep score here at Tony's Picks. Check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hotter. Get involved with my long-term packages. Seems like the more I'm putting up those numbers, Tony, it seems like the more long-term packages are coming in. What a coincidence. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. Like I told Tony yesterday on the show, get that 30-day. Yes, sure. I see it there. It's $329. But you know what? I think even if you only went with me for 1 month, and then you'll see we get this winning together, come back for another month, whatever you want to do. But you know what? If you think, it's baseball, whatever, you still will gain enough knowledge from me in my little 4-paragraph write-up every day on the games, and also just the way I pick games. Sometimes, it almost feels like cheating when you go to the same play over and over again. That doesn't matter when you're putting the wins in your pocket. That's what you're supposed to do. Find the best spots. So I see everyone, in our Discord, Tony, they're doing great, obviously. Otherwise, everybody'd be subscribing, I guess. But talking about, some of the derivatives, they're tough because everyone likes to get on these derivatives because they're looking for alternatives if they're not hitting sides and totals. Look, sides and totals are the bread and butter. Sides and totals, you could bet the bigger limits. Derivatives, not so much. If you get hot on derivatives, you're going to get limited really fast. So the other thing is the variance in derivatives, right? The smaller the window of opportunity, the bigger variance you're going to have. I mean, like I said, if we could bet a weekly series and have it decided in a night, talking about like a 3-game series, we'd do that. The bigger the space, it kind of reduces the volatility. So that's why I like full game sides and totals, quite frankly, Tony. So I don't mind. I love seeing our chat in the Discord with all those derivatives and player props and all that. That's cool. But again, at the end of the day, if you want to be there on the winning side with me, grab one of these long-term packages. Also coming in with my NBA, a little late, Tony, today, but pretty solid. Yeah, we did videos on those as well on the morning steam yesterday. We'll come back again with more NBA on the show tomorrow. Mindy and I, Mindy returns from her day off, and we'll have morning steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, 8 Mindy time with our chat. Some of them you see here on the chat, and we'll have more morning steam tomorrow as well. Also, a couple embedded videos tonight. You want more hockey action since Mindy and I weren't together? Of course, grab the 3-pack. That's a marketing ploy, but also we got a couple videos, Tony, here on the site. Seattle and Vegas, Vancouver and Anaheim, my sponsor play, and also my leaderboard play, where I talk about who's on top of the leaderboards, besides me, of course, and who was hot over at Tony's Picks over the last few days. So try to get that together, get that series back up and rolling after the holiday, and great to be on a roll right now, Tony. I feel like, just a wide hoop at this point. It's funny. I guess like most handicappers, Tony, a little bit of a loss, and you're like, oh, gotta go work. And when you're winning, you're staying up late working extra hard because you want to keep going.
That's right, guys. Got it, bro. Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. I will flash those numbers up for you again. 6,230 units of profit for 2023. There's all documented over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can verify that by going to Ramon's handicapper page over at Tony's Picks. And of course, when you get there right now, you'll find Ramon with his plays up there. We got a 3-pack up there from the NHL. Also, with the discount best bet, he's working on his NBA for tonight as well. But the long-term passes will serve you well. That 1-month pass is the way to roll. Get all Ramon's premium plays for 30 days. That's all his NBA. That will get you into the second round of the NBA playoffs. Same thing with the NHL playoffs as well. All his MLB, his peripheral sports. He's also in action with UFC. That's also part of it as well. When there's a UFC card on the weekends, he's in action there, whether it's Bellator or it's UFC. You'll get those plays as well. We can save you $66 on that 1 month pass when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access Ramon's page by clicking the link in the description. Click the All Cappers tab. You'll land right on his page and go ahead and get signed up. Ramon, it's always great having your show. Great job on that rundown. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow here in Game Day Picks. But you and Mindy back again tomorrow. Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, and follow me on Twitter there at Tony's Picks Ramon. I'll get you another play here tonight. Probably more hockey. I'll try to find more hockey winners for you. Since I only got a 3-pack, the hockey's where I ended up a little bit of a streak there, downturn yesterday. So I rolled that baseball, though. Yeah, come on by the Morning Steam tomorrow. Check us out. See some of our favorites in here in the chat. Maddie, Blake, Neil, Scotty Foster in there, taking the night off from the games. I hope he's not gonna break the finish. He's not gonna put a bunch of fouls on a guy and cost us our money tonight in the NBA. So he'll just be betting the Yankees instead tonight. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with all of our crew. Come prepared. Come with your picks, your analysis, because on the show, Tony, the chat are the stars of the Morning Steam. Mindy and I just kind of guide the ship, and we try to make sure we show everybody's play on the screen so they get their just due and get their picks on record too, because they end up getting friends and followers who's hot and who's not, and go into the Discord and chat and things like that. Feels really good to have started a good, responsible community of handicappers that are serious about winning, because I can be a bit of a goofball, but when it comes to these picks, Tony, I'm very, very serious about it.
That's right, guys. I endure it indeed. So check them out there, Ramon there. And of course, make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. When Ramon and Mindy are live, you're live with them. Get the plays in real time. Get the best numbers. All right, Ramon. Have yourself a great afternoon. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Got Ramon Scott here on Game Day Picks. Guys, with here Game Day Picks Monday through Friday here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications, be live with us. Get the plays in real time. Get the best numbers with these picks. Let's continue on here with Game Day Picks. Yeah, you guys are leaving and forget about me. It's okay. It's okay. I know you guys get my plays every day anyway, but this was a unique play. This one was not on my video today. I was a little sneaky with you guys today. And tonight we're coming in here, and of course I do rate them higher when they're on the show versus when they're not on the show. So that's something also to consider. Let's get my information up here on the game today. We're looking at the Hawks and Heat tonight. NBA playing around on TNT, 7:30 Eastern Time. We see the line here with the Heat favored here, a total 227. We're going to look at the total here, and we're going over 227.5 here with this Hawks and Heat team. I don't see defensive intensity in the NBA playoffs. I don't think it's going to be any different. The teams are going to play fast. That's what they've been doing all season. Why are you going to make, especially when your teams are playing fast, why are you going to change right now and screw up the entire team? Most starters are probable for tonight. If you notice how everybody gets healthy right when the playoffs start. Boy, that's interesting, right? How everybody pretty much gets healthy. Of course, Lowry is the one question mark. Let's see if that has changed here for the Miami Heat. But boy, it's incredible how that happens. But anyway. The issue here I have here with this Heat is, first off, the Heat. The Heat have shot the ball really good after the All-Star break at home. If you look at their home numbers, they've been fantastic. 51% shooting, 41% from three. The scoring is up. The defense is down because they give up 121 points per 100 possessions. That's the key there with the offensive numbers. But again, the defense just poor for this Atlanta Hawks team. I don't really trust them since the All-Star break. They are shooting the ball at 49% since the All-Star break, and they're giving up 119 points per 100 possession. When I say they're shooting 49%, that's on the road. The road shooting since the break is 49%, and they're giving up 119 points per 100 possessions. The Heat shooting better. Offensive numbers have been improved here, but the defensive numbers have not. So they're giving up 121 per possession. So I'm going to look here at a high-scoring game. I don't look for defensive intensity probably until we get into the deeper rounds of the playoffs. Once we get to game 5, 6, and 7, that's when I kind of look at the under when these teams make adjustments. But I think right now, this early on, I think you're going to still see the fast pace up there on the court between these teams. Of course, once we get into these best of 7 series, we'll start to see the adjustments, and we'll start to see the play slow a little bit when we get to game 5, 6, and 7. But here in this one, I'll look to go over one thing. When you look at the Atlanta Hawks stats, they've been very poor. A poor fourth quarter team, giving up the 29th most points in the fourth quarter. They give up a lot of points in the paint, and okay, that's where Miami likes to operate. But again, Atlanta is basically built for speed. They don't defend. Go over the total here of 227.5 here in this one. All right, let's see. Over at TonySmith.com tonight, I've got the 4-pack up there. I've got 3 plays tonight here from. Actually, I got a best bet right now up there right now from Major League Baseball. So a best bet from Major League Baseball, then a 3-pack with the NBA and a Major League Baseball game in there for you as well. So 4 premium plays up on the board for you right now. You could also go long-term with me. I have the 3, 7, or 30 Sports Pass. Get all my premium plays for that period of time you select. When you go to my handicapper page and you make that purchase, don't forget that promo code TonyT at checkout, and you will save 20% off. You can access my page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, land on my page, and go ahead and get signed up. All right, let's continue on here on Game Day Picks. Like everybody's contributions here for today on the show. Let's recap the plays given out here. Ramon was on the Hurricanes and NHL, minus 1.5 goals, minus 110 against the Red Wings, and I'll be on the Heat Hawks over 227.5. But you want Ramon's full rundown, 15 picks from Major League Baseball, you got to rewatch the show. You got to rewatch this. They're there for you guys to check it out. So watch the show if you tuned in late. He gave a play on every game. We do the rundown here with Ramon on Tuesdays. So make sure you guys tune into Tuesday's Game Day Picks to get the full Major League Baseball rundown from Ramon. As of course, you know the morning steam is dark here on Tuesdays, but Ramon wanted to get the games out there, and of course they will cover on the morning steam. They will cover the NBA playoffs. The Tuesday games in the NHL and NBA playoffs will be covered on the Monday show because there's no back-to-backs, right? So if there's no back-to-back, you can cover the Tuesday games. That's what they're going to do. They're going to cover the Tuesday games on the Monday show. That's why if you're looking for their NBA for Tuesday, they did it on the Monday show. Go back to the archives. We actually have an entire video just for the NBA picks for Monday up there. So you got for Tuesday, so you guys can check it out for the morning steam. Just go to our YouTube channel. So we got you guys covered. I'd like to appreciate everybody in the chat today for their contributions. We had Butterscotch, a shout out Butterscotch, Neil Boyce as well as Matt D, and of course Blake in there as well. Thanks for all your contributions in the chat. That's going to do it for our show. Let's go ahead and bring in Ramon right now. We'll bring Ramon in right now. Going to wave goodbye to you guys. You guys have a great afternoon. We'll